get annoyed when I go to restaurants and I see emblazoned a large sign that says home cooking. Whose home is it anyhow? Home cooking to me is something that's never as well done in a restaurant. And there are versions. In other words, Joël Robuchon's mashed potatoes are sublime. They are not home cooking. No. You're not going to get rats, those special little potatoes, and they're not starchy. They don't hold the fat. So they're going to fall apart. They have to be done à la minute, ready for people to eat. Worse is roasts. And of course, it is true that I wrote a book about roasting, and I have a passionate feeling about it. But I must say that unless you happen to be the first person eating at the restaurant that night, and presuming that the roast has finished cooking, you're the only one getting the roast at its premium condition.
I would start off knocking down your argument by boosting you up. You are Barbara Kafka. You are one of the...
Last time I looked.
Yes, and you are one of the great cooks of the world, and you've written some of the classics of home cooking.
Oh, darling, now, I may not live through this, yes.
But if you say that I'd rather have home food at home as opposed to a restaurant, that's your home. Look where we are. I mean, this is a temple. This is a shrine of home cooking, and you're cooking it. There are lots of people out there who can't make food at home that's as good as Barbara Kafka's food at home.
But that's not important.
Not that it's good?
Good is good, but welcome and sharing and effort are more important. And I tell my friends, oh, I can't have you to dinner.
No, it's crazy.
And I tell them, nobody is going to appreciate a meal you make more than I do.
I'm not advocating that
I think that people should learn anybody can roast a chicken, dear. Anybody can make simple
Of course, but I'm not advocating that people should stop eating at home and only have roast chicken in restaurants. But if you do go to a restaurant, which most people do occasionally, and you do have a place with great home food, nothing wrong with that. It doesn't. I would never say I want restaurant food in a restaurant. I imagine that in Barbara Kafka's life, you've got endless time, probably not, but to make a good meal. You do it often right in this kitchen. There are lots of people out there in America who are working 9 to 5, 9 to 8, and they want a meatloaf. They want macaroni and cheese, but they don't have the time to shop and prepare it at the end of the day. Well, let them go to home-style restaurants.
Let them go. But the point is that you can have all those foods, and you can make them in a reasonable amount of time, particularly if you're willing to use a microwave.
I'm going to propose a family in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, you go right ahead.
All right.
You're going to propose to them too?
Come be my family. Let's say the mom and the dad both work. Let's say they pick up the kids from the babysitter or whatever. It's now 7 o'clock. It's time for dinner. Nobody's going to go shop for meatloaf and macaroni and cheese. You know where they're going to go? Listen to the name of this restaurant. You'll love it. Joyner's Home Cooked Food Restaurant. I mean, it's kind of almost laughingly redundant. Home-cooked food restaurant. But
how old are those children?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it's important. In other words,
let's say they're 10 and 12.
Teaching them very bad habits.
But do that once in a while. You don't have to do it all the time.
I didn't say you can't do it once in a while, nor do I never eat a roast chicken in a restaurant. Well, actually, I must say I really don't ever eat a roast chicken in a restaurant. I'd rather do it myself. Basically, I have to count my dollars like anybody else.
Yes.
And it's a lot cheaper to eat that food at home than it is to eat it in a restaurant. And if I'm going to spend the money on a restaurant, then why shouldn't I have a restaurant experience?
Yeah, but, you know, we might be looking at the difference of $250 for a couple in a fancier restaurant and $65 in a home food restaurant.
65 when I could make the same meal for 15 bucks seems like a lot of money.
Yes.
With my roast chicken, I have leftovers. I can make a sandwich.
Le doggy bag.
Yeah. But I don't get to take the bones home and pick them off of people's plates, which I do here.
You know, I must tell you a quick story. When I went to Le Cirque about a year and a half ago, my daughter and I ordered the roast, it was a guinea hen. And we didn't, it was fantastic actually.
Okay.
We didn't finish it. And it went back to the kitchen, and as I was leaving, they said, Sirio wants to say goodbye to you. We came into the kitchen. Sirio was eating our leftover bones in the kitchen.
But I'm not eating the leftover bones. I am taking them off the plate. I am stripping the meat off the carcass. I'm throwing them in a pot. I'm putting water in there.
Yep.
And I'm getting stock for nothing.
See, what I think it comes down to in this discussion, not everybody's you. For you, all of this makes perfect sense.
My body would be very overpopulated.
But for many people, it makes sense to. Yes, it costs a little more, but it's how they get a little pleasure during their day and no further work.
I think it's wonderful for people to have pleasure. I think if they want that, they should have it. I am simply saying to you why I don't think home food is as good in a restaurant as it is at home, and why, even if it isn't, it is important for it to happen and to be done.
Yes.
I think home food.
Social, cultural values of eating at home.
Family values.
We sound like Republicans.
At the risk of sounding like.